Hello everyone, my name is LPangaro, and in this video I'm going to show off all my manga collection. Okay, let's begin. The first ones I want you to notice is Black Lagoon, one of my favorite manga series of all time. I think this is the... this is the Roberta, there she is, Roberta Cisneros arc, one of my favorite arcs in the Black Lagoon series. Very nice. Here is, over here, is Naruto Shippuden. Arguably one of my most favorite anime series of all time. I've been watching it since I was a child, since high school. And they all range from different parts of the Shippuden story arc, from 30, 48, 60, 70, various different story arcs. From Pain, I think this is Sasori, this is when Itachi and his brother and Sasuke fights against Kabuto, and these are the most recent ones with Obito and the Sage of Six Paths and his mother. Over here is my only copy of the Geese volume. Also one of my favorite series. I prefer the anime myself, but these are pretty hard to find in where I live. The Code Geass manga, so I was proud to have that. Now this, what I'm holding in my hand, is a Yaoi Manga. And there's a difference between a Yaoi Manga and a romance novel. And the difference is how much sex is in it. And there are, pros and cons of both romance and just purely lust books. This is fine that this is a bit more realistically drawn than the others. Keeping with the Naruto theme, this is Naruto 55, and I also got the poster version of it. See if I can get side by side. Just screwing up with my focus a little bit, something like that. Yeah, I got the poster version of this volume, number 55. Pretty cool. Like I said, I got a lot of manga. I got so much I haven't got enough room to put them all in. Alright, let's go through them all. This is Bloody Monday. And let's take a shot of it there. And it is basically like a thriller shonen. And it involves hackers and stuff. It's not well known, but I enjoyed this. At least I got one episode of that. One volume of that. I'll just put it back in. Manga has a very unique style, art style to it. It's very bi-punk. It's lots of deals with viruses and body horror and that sort of thing. Not really my cup of tea, but I'm glad I got it. This is Captive Heart, and this is a romance novel between a male and a female, and it's written by the same mangaka of the one who wrote Vampire Knight, and I was a fan of Vampire Knight and I decided to get it, and it has its own charms. Oku, I thought I've lost this one, but this is a pretty, how shall I say, this is historical fiction, but it's pretty adult in the sense that, there is no sex, there is no violence, none of that, but it's very adult themed. It's sometimes very difficult to read, and it's not one of my favorites, but it is considered a classic, almost visual novel. This is Nora. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of it. Standard shonen, demon power manga. This is Saber Marionette. It's not really one of my favorite. It's just balls to the wall, very, 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 how to say, crazy, very out there manga. The style is very simplistic, very cartoony, but the storylines, it's just, it won't make you think, that's all I'm going to say. This is Devil and Her Love Song. It's another romance one, boy and girl, and I like the visual style in it, and I thought this was quite compelling, and I thought, yeah, it's a very sweet love story. My back is breaking as I say this, but this is Otomen. One of my favorites, actually, about a man's man who likes cooking and sewing, plays on gender roles, and it's actually a romance, quite a sweet romance between him and his love interest. And one of his friends is sneakily is a mangaka and making a book about their relationship. So yeah, one of my favourite Otomen. Shame though I haven't gotten the other books in this series, which I do want. This is Love Mode, and this is a boys' love romance. It's not a yaoi because it's not focused on lust, and it's a romance, but boy and boy. So I like all kinds of romances. Speaking about romance, this is Twinkle Star. This also, like Otomen and the other boy and girl romances, I thought it was quite compelling. It was a joy to read. This is the first, hang on. This is, hang on, there we go. This is the first volume of Dears. It is magical girl, as in typically a boy finds a magical girlfriend. Yeah, that's what I meant, magical girlfriend type of story. So the hero meets a magical girlfriend. This time she's an alien, a space alien, a race of women. And I've actually seen the anime to this, and I haven't seen much of it, but I found this story simplistic, but yeah, really good. This is Oran High Host Club, and I think this is the inside. I've lost the outer jacket to this, so this may not show up well. A very, a subtle cover right there. An Oran High Host Club, the classic story of a female student getting confused for a boy, and she's part of a host club, like paid boyfriends. And yeah, the classic series, Oran High Host Club. Of course I got one of these. And this is Soul Eater. Hang on, let's see if I can get a better. And this first volume of Soul Eater. So that's pretty much my thing, isn't it? First volumes. Usually I like to use the first volumes as a gauge if I'm interested in the other ones. And Soul Eater to me is a very interesting shonen. A bit too fan servicey, and the anime kind of went off the rails at the end. So it's got some... It's not high concept stuff, it's just some of the characters, and because they take inspiration from stuff like Frankenstein and Lupin and what was the mobster, the famous mobster Al Capone, and that sort of thing, sort of mashes them together. It doesn't... And of course eating the souls thing sort of bothers me because of my beliefs. But yeah, Soul Eater, it is... I regularly read this one. This is Loveless, and I bought this at a store that doesn't particularly sell manga, but I bought this in conjunction with another video, and I actually am quite like this. And some bits I don't like, some of the... It's basically shonen with a little bit of seinen, and some scenes are there, some interesting things. It's all about... yeah, you would be surprised. People don't think Loveless is popular, but it is really, really popular. And they're like, the person who sold it to me was like confused, or I don't know why I bought it, but I bought it because I really like the designs of it, and yeah, one of my first purchases. Honeyblood. I believe this is a vampire romance story about a vampire and his attempts to woo a mortal, and it's not one of my favorites, but it's got a very unique art style, as you can see. Lovely. Gentleman's Alliance. And this is basically a shoujo. A little bit of thriller, little drama, little action. I don't remember too much about this. Don't remember the story that well. I think the art style was a bit too cluttered, I think. So it's hard to tell what goes what. But yeah, I cannot seem for the life of me remember remember the story of this. Nice. This is Nana. I think this is a random volume I picked up in a store. I should tell you right now, I like cheap manga. If it's 5 and under for a volume, then I'll get it. Definitely, any manga is good manga. So this is Nana, which is sort of famous. It's a very realistic drama about two girls living in some city. It may be New York. It's probably New York. Both called Nana. So it's not about grandmothers or anything like that, and it's not about Nana Visitor from actress from Deep Space Nine, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a very serious drama. It looks about life and relationships, but not too much realistic because no one's that well off in this universe. What else? My last couple. Trigon. Have I got this upside down? Yes. So Trigon, another classic anime series, post-apocalyptic world, with the hero who turns out to be an angel called Vash, Stampede, I think. You've all heard about this, and you probably haven't heard about this because nobody cares about Trigon anymore, which is a shame because I really love this book, and it's really thick. Look at that. Took me a long time to read. This is number 6, and this is a sci-fi action thriller drama manga, and I like this very much. It's very, very intense. Well, intense may be a little bit too strong, but it's very, very thrilling. I found it really, really thrilling. I hope. I just wished it was more famous than it is. This is Yellow, and this is a Yaoi manga, and it's yeah, it's more focused on lust, but there's really relatively few love-making scenes. And it's actually kind of a sweet story between the two main characters. It's also a little bit of action, which you rarely see in a yaoi manga, and it's one I rarely read. This is the yaoi classic, or the sequel to the yaoi classic, Gravitation X. And it's the basic yaoi story. It's a bit similar to a book I'm going to show next, in that it's about two rock bands with male leads and the lovers. And this one, actually, this Gravitation, one of them goes to an island to seek out their long lost younger relative, and there's a fight that happens and friendships are examined. And yeah, but the general thought of this, it's not true gravitation, so I'm not sure what to think. This is Yokan by Makoto Tateno, and once again, this is a yaoi, and that is the common theme with most of these books. And this is similar to Gravitation X. It's also about two bands, two rock bands with two male leads. They are lovers, but I like this better. One, because it's got the same art style as Yellow, and I really like the art style. And this is and it's a little bit more towards lust, and I think I enjoy the bonus chapters at the end. So that's Yokan Noise Volume 2. I haven't got Volume 1, but very similar to Yellow and to Gravitation X. I saved the best to last. At least it's tied with Black Lagoon and Naruto Shippuden. So this is Girlfriends. Now, Girlfriends is a yuri, which is like the female version of a yaoi. And although it does focus on lust a little bit, I believe Girlfriends is actually a more sweeter story, and basically it's about these two women who gradually fall in love with each other. I thought it was a really sweet story, got some really turns right there, and the characters, I did relate to them, and I learned to love them through them, and you want to cheer them on, and you want them to, succeed, will they, won't they, sort of thing. So yeah, this Girlfriends is an omnibus. Look at that, it's really thick, so it's a bunch of volumes, probably like three Soul Eaters in one, for this book. But yeah, it's one of my favorites, Girlfriends. I regularly read it, and I just thought it was a very sweet story. So that's it. That is my manga collection. I'm always on the lookout for more, especially I just love shops. Even if they're not manga anime shops, just doing like cheap manga, like $5 or less for a volume, I eat it up, because they can be surprisingly expensive. Some are $15, some are like in the 25, some are 30. But I love me some cheap manga. Okay, thank you for indulging me in my craziness for manga. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.